This is the eerie story of the only ghost fish in Arizona, a fish called the Monkey Springs pupfish. The high desert of southern Arizona is an area filled with secrets, old mines, vanished villages, and stories whispered on the wind. But few people know about one of the most terrifying stories of the area, the tale of Arizona's ghost fish. For nearly 20,000 years, the Monkey Springs pupfish sat stranded in small, isolated pools in the Arizona desert. And as every season passed, the species became more and more unique and strange. If you didn't look closely, you would mistake the Monkey Springs pupfish for their close relative, the desert pupfish. And that's exactly what people did, until it was too late. In the late 1960s, after surviving in some of the harshest environments that a fish could live in, for millennia, the Monkey Springs pupfish disappeared from our planet forever. Through human actions of diverting surface water and pumping groundwater to build what are now mostly stranded desert towns and dry agriculture fields, the Monkey Springs pupfish habitats were changed drastically. But the fish still held on. Populations were weak, but persisting. Fish still swam in the spring water, as their ancestors did. But now the Monkey Springs pupfish was in a dire situation, and things were about to get worse. Through illegal human introductions, the final blow to the species was thrown. Largemouth bass were introduced into the waters, eagerly and viciously devouring every last pupfish. Only one individual remained, a young male looking for his mate. The fish was bright blue, with a dark face and throat that had a metallic sheen. Male pupfish were an aggressive fish, protecting and fighting for space in the small springs. A largemouth bass slowly swam by, and instinct triggered the young Monkey Springs pupfish to attack. However, this was no fair fight. The Monkey Springs pupfish was greatly outsized. Its 1-inch body easily fit inside the wide opening of the largemouth bass's mouth. In a single moment, orchestrated by decades of neglect and harm, the Monkey Springs pupfish was gone. This was the first and only extinction of an Arizona fish caused by human actions, leaving only ghosts of the species. And so those fish ghosts watched. Their homes in the springs continued to change in their absence. Without the fish present in the springs, the water quickly filled with algae, turning the clear springs into green pools. Small bugs then laid their eggs in the water. Mosquito larvae exploded in numbers, as the Monkey Springs pupfish was no longer there to eat these bugs and keep their numbers in check. The Monkey Springs pupfish's story is a cautionary example of how, when conservation actions are not taken, humans can wipe out an entire species, even small, harmless, and innocent species that were not yet appreciated. These spring waters, that held a unique species for thousands of years, found nowhere else in the world, now is void of this unique desert treasure. But some may ask, what is the harm to humans by causing the extinction of this small desert fish? What is the worst that could happen to us in a world with a few less fish around? Well, the story of the Monkey Springs pupfish shows us that when a species goes extinct, not only are they lost, but so are the thousands of years of their history. Thousands of years of information on how they were able to adapt and live in a hotter world with less water. One that our planet and us humans are currently dealing with. We also learn that when we lose a species, the local environments also change for the worst. Species are a signal, alerting us that things are off balance, and other species will likely be lost next if we don't take actions. If we continue to lose species, we may also lose the environment that we live in and depend on. But conservation partners in Arizona are working hard to ensure this type of event never happens again. But the odds are stacked against many native fishes, facing many of the same threats that the monkey springs pupfish will put through. While this ghost fish of Arizona may not have directly haunted you yet, just as with any ghost, they are waiting and watching our every movements, aware that humans are entirely to blame for their demise.